Greetings, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Alicia, and today I am bringing you a what's for dinner video, plus a bonus dessert clip at the very end. It has to be included because my husband declared it his favorite dessert ever, so I'm going to share that with you guys. So let's get into the very first dinner. Alright, so I have all my ingredients laid out for the Swedish meatball pasta. I have my ground beef that has been defrosted, some salt, some parsley from our beautiful bush in the backyard, some chicken broth, some shells that I just got from my recent Walmart haul, and I will link that, some ground nutmeg allspice. I have some diced garlic right there, Dijon mustard, some heavy cream, Parmesan cheese, diced onion, and egg, some whole milk, olive oil, ground black pepper, some Worcestershire sauce, and some breadcrumbs. So right now I'm gonna put all the ingredients together that I need for the meatballs, and I'm gonna cook those off and then make the sauce. One of my tips for making meatballs is you want to have wet hands. So either you're going to spray your hands with a non-stick cooking spray, or what I prefer to do is to wet my hands with cold water under the faucet and just keep wetting them in between like several balls of meatballs, and that helps the meat not stick to your hands and it forms better meatballs. This is probably one of my favorite meals to make because it all is put together in one pot. I don't need to boil off some water. I can just pour the pasta right into the liquid mixture in the same pot that the meatballs were cooked in, which means it'll make for less cleanup at the end of the night. This dish was a major winner in our household, plus it made great leftovers the next day. All right, friends, I have all of the ingredients laid out for a mushroom and goat cheese pizza. I will link the original recipe, but I am altering it quite a bit. What I'm doing is I'm adding some sliced shallots to the mushrooms whenever I go to saute the mushrooms. I'm also swapping out the fontina cheese for something that is cheaper and more accessible, so some mozzarella cheese. And I'm adding in some thyme and some crushed red pepper flakes. So I have everything ready to go. I have my dough, my pizza dough, resting in the bowl right now. I'm making my kids a pepperoni and olive pizza, and then me and my hubby are gonna have a little bit of a fancier pizza, and then I'm gonna top it off with some arugula and olive oil right on top of the pizza. Also to note, for those that are new to my channel, never throw away those produce bags. Just cut them open and lay them out flat like this so that it makes a good discard pile for you, so that once you're done cutting and chopping all of the things up, you just take it and you grab it like that and you throw it away. It saves you a lot of time going back and forth from the garbage can. Of course, I could bring the garbage can to me, but I'm not gonna do that. So just make use of of those produce bags. All right, so what I need to do right now is I need to get my mushrooms sauteed up so that they cook down quite a bit and get a good caramelization from the balsamic vinegar. And while those will be on the stove, I need to start grating my cheese. So I wanted to share with you guys too, what I do is if my laundry room, where I personally like to put my dough at, where it's kind of the warmest place in the house, it's not that warm in there today. It's kind of cold in the house actually. So what I did was I just turned my oven on for like 5 minutes. It didn't even hit like 130 degrees. And I turned it off right away and I placed my dough in here so that it's still cool in here, but like slightly warm, but it will just help the dough rise a little bit. So I'm gonna keep it in here while I prep my mushrooms. I know I need to get my oven preheated here really soon, but at least I can get my mushrooms done. My pan has been preheating. I'm gonna put some extra virgin olive oil down in the pan and let that heat up for a second. All right, my olive oil's been heating up here for quite a bit. I'm gonna move these around, just being careful. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these cook for a few minutes and then I'm gonna add in my my shallots and let those cook down a little bit. And then last will be my garlic because I do not want that to burn. If you've ever had burnt garlic, you know that that is not a good taste. All right, friends, now I'm gonna add in the sliced shallot. I love shallots, they're so good. I have a ton of garlic right here. I think I minced up like 3 larger cloves. So I'm gonna get those in here. And then I'm also gonna throw in my seasonings right now too. So I have some thyme, probably like a teaspoon, red pepper flakes, and because this is me and my husband's, I can add a little bit more. And then I am gonna add some salt and pepper here in a second as well. Let's throw in a little bit of salt and some black pepper. So now I'm gonna drizzle in my balsamic vinegar. I'm gonna do, I think it said 3 tablespoons. Let's just start out with 2. And then I'm gonna let this cook down. You know what? I might drizzle in a little bit of honey just to get it like a little bit sweeter, to make it almost like a balsamic glaze. And I'm gonna drizzle in a little bit of honey before I take this off the heat, because I'm just gonna let this chill in the pan while I get my dough ready. My dough's ready, but I just need to get it all flattened out. And I have another video where I make pizza again, because I love making pizza. Pizza is honestly such an easy dinner. I know it sounds like a little bit difficult at first, but honestly, once you make your own pizza, it just comes so much easier the more you make it. I am running out of honey, by the way. I'm having a difficult time here. It's at the very bottom. But anyway, I'm gonna link a video of how we rest the dough so that it's easier to spread and pull apart. And I didn't use too much honey because 1, you don't want it to be super sweet, but 2, I couldn't get it out of the bottle. I'm gonna turn the heat off, let the mushrooms just sit out and relax, and I'm gonna work on the dough. I also wanted to share this little quick tip with you too. So I'm not using this sauce on our pizza, but for the kids I am. Now this is just a store-bought pizza sauce from Winco, like their homemade version. And what I do is their container is really big. There's no way that I could use all that sauce. So what I do is I split it up into little Ziploc baggies and I freeze it, and it makes like 4 to 5 pizzas. So I just pulled out a little baggie to defrost already to use for my kids' pizza, and there's an extra one in here. So that's another tip in case you have leftover pizza sauce. Do not throw it away, just have my pizza dough all flattened out over here, and then I have the pizza sauce and the cheese, pepperoni, and olives all ready to go for my kids' pizza. I am gonna sprinkle on some oregano on top. All right, now this is going in to a 450-degree oven, and I'm actually putting this on parchment paper, just like what if you would get like at a take and bake pizza shop. So I'm gonna stick this right onto the oven rack. So I'm putting a flat, just cookie sheet. These are my favorite. These are the Gold Touch, like by Williams-Sonoma. These are my favorite ones to use. But I'm gonna just slide this on there so that it's easier to place the pizza into the oven on the parchment. Of course, I'm gonna remove the cookie sheet, but for now, just like that. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna change this up a little tiny bit, like I mentioned. So first, so this is gonna be sauceless. So, but if you want sauce, I'm sure you could just add your own sauce to it. So I'm gonna put some mozzarella down. See little hands in here. All right, so I have my mozzarella down. Now I'm gonna put my mushrooms. Hello. You're a goof nugget. All right, let's spread these guys out a little bit. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bake this first for probably 8 minutes, then put my goat cheese on top and then cook it the rest of the way. I don't want my goat cheese to burn. I don't think it would burn, but that's how I'm gonna do it. And then I'll put this in the oven as soon as the pepperoni pizza is done. So I bought an 8-ounce goat cheese log. So I'm just gonna use half of this because it only calls for 4 ounces. So I'm just gonna cut this in half right here and save this for another day. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start crumbling it right here so that I don't have to do it when I'm in a hurry, when I pull the pizza out for a little bit. And then I'll just transfer it to the pizza and let it cook down. And 4 ounces is actually quite a bit of cheese if you think about it. But it's gonna be so yummy. I love a good goat cheese. I pulled out the pepperoni pizza already, so I'm sticking in our pizza. Here we go. I'm just gonna slide it off of the cookie sheet. There we go. Here is their pizza, looking mighty tasty, I might add. Okay, and then over here, what I did in a bowl is I put some arugula, a big handful of arugula, and drizzled just a little tiny bit of olive oil. I'm gonna stick this right on top of the pizza after, of course, I pull out the pizza, and it's gonna be yummy, yummy, yummy. All right, so my timer went off halfway. So what I'm gonna do right now is add the goat cheese. I'm just gonna slide this out. It is really hot. Ooh, but it's looking really good. Grab it just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna throw my goat cheese on top. Going back in, I'm actually gonna rotate it right now too. I always do that halfway. So just pick up the parchment. All right, another, I think maybe 8 to 9 minutes. Ooh, this looks fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna top this off with some arugula. Oops. Yeah. Look at that. It looks so yummy. If you are a person that really does prefer a sauce on pizza, I would probably suggest using like a white sauce, like an Alfredo sauce. I actually have an Alfredo recipe that I will link below for you guys. And what I like to do whenever I make my Alfredo recipe is I like to freeze the leftovers. So if you have frozen leftover Alfredo sauce in your freezer, this pizza would be perfect for that. I have all of the ingredients right here laid out for some easy oven fried chicken drumsticks, and I say quote unquote fried because we're making a breading for them and they taste like they're fried, but they're not. They're gonna be baked off in the oven. So let me show you everything that's going on here. So of course I have some chicken drumsticks. I'm only gonna use about 12 of them, and then the rest I'm going to freeze. For my liquid mixture, I have some eggs, some milk, and some hot sauce. You can use any hot sauce you want. I'm just gonna use a little bit of Crystal today. And then for the breading over here, I have some Parmesan cheese that I've already grated in a pie or cake pan. This is the easiest way to dredge all this stuff because it's shallow enough to get a couple of legs in there. So that's why I prefer using cake or pie pans. I have some seasoned breadcrumbs right here, and then a lot of seasonings: smoked paprika, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper. So first things first, I'm gonna make the milk and egg mixture, and then I'm gonna make my breading and start dredging all of the drumsticks. The very first thing I'm gonna do here is prep my pan. So what I like to do personally is I like to use like a jelly roll pan or a cake pan and place a cooling rack on top. And then I'm gonna spray it with some nonstick spray. Now I like doing this because whenever you set drumsticks down like in a casserole dish, which you totally can do if you want to skip this part, but I want them elevated and up on a cooling rack so it doesn't get soggy on the bottom and air can come up underneath it and cook it from the bottom. So that's what I like to do personally, but do whatever you need to do. Whatever you have is great. Okay, so that's done and ready to go. Let's start making all of the drumsticks. All right, my friends, I'm gonna add my milk up in here, and I will post a link for the exact measurements and the recipe in the description box down below. So if you want to give this recipe a try, it's really tasty. I used to make this all the time. I forgot about this, but it comes together super fast and you're not even gonna miss the fried part. All right, and I have my other pan with the grated Parmesan cheese in here. To that, I'm gonna add in some breadcrumbs, some smoked paprika. Of course, you can use just regular paprika if that's all you have, but this gives a nice like smokiness to it. some Italian seasoning. Now, yes, I am using some seasoned breadcrumbs, but I really want to be able to taste the seasonings in here. Garlic powder, onion powder, and some ground black pepper. And then just with my hands, I'm just gonna mix this all together. And guys, if you can, please do not buy the pre-shredded Parmesan cheese. That stuff just does not melt as well as the block cheese where you grate it yourself. There's like a chemical coating on the pre-shredded stuff that makes it last longer, and it's just hard to melt down. So definitely grate your own cheese. I know it's an extra step, but I promise it'll taste way better. I have my station all set up, so I'm going to dredge a drumstick through the egg and milk, and then dredge it in the breadcrumbs, and then on to my cooling rack with the cookie sheet underneath it. And guys, I said 12 drumsticks, so I meant to say 10 drumsticks. I'm sure you could do 12 though, there should be plenty, but I'm gonna do 10. So I have my plate back here, you can't see it, but it's off camera, and then I'm just going to do this, rub it around up in here, and then I'm gonna place it down right this way, like this. Because then I'm gonna alternate the sides. All right, so I'm gonna do the rest of them right now. If you have made it this far in my video, thank you guys so much for watching and for being here. I really appreciate it. And if you are new, my name is Alicia. We are a family of 5. I have 2 sons and 1 daughter. Their ages are 10, 6, and 2. So we have quite a bit of mouths to feed around here, which is totally fine with me because I love cooking, I love baking, and that is what you can expect to find here on my channel, along with some travel stuff. I'm just trying to do it all, basically. So I hope you subscribe and stick around. I would love to get to know you. So everything is coated. Sometimes I like to just go through and get a little bit of the extra Parmesan that's left in this pan and just kind of press it on top. But like I said, there's still plenty of breadcrumb mixture in here and milk and egg mixture if you wanted to throw on a couple more drumsticks, but this is good for our family, I think. All right, guys, so I put 4 tablespoons of butter in the microwave in a spouted measuring cup like this. It's just gonna be easier to pour to drizzle over the melted butter over on the chicken drumsticks, just to give it like a little bit of a crispiness to it. It's not gonna be a ton of butter because I'm dividing 4 tablespoons over 10, so it's not gonna be much. I'm just gonna start off with a little bit on each drumstick first, and then I'll go back and see which ones need more. There we go, and my oven has been preheated already to 375, and these go for about 50 to 55 minutes. Ooh. Looks good. You guys, I promise you're not gonna miss fried chicken once you've tried this recipe. It's really, really crispy. Plus, you're not messing around with a bunch of oil. You don't have to worry about cleanup. It comes together very, very quickly. My kids really love this recipe. I serve this with some rice pilaf and green beans, which is the perfect dinner. I am very much looking forward to tonight's dinner, and that's going to be some chicken pad thai from Carlsbad Cravings. I haven't made this particular recipe. I've made chicken pad thai before, but I wanted to try something different. So what we have here, I actually have 3 chicken breasts right here that I've cut up into thinner strips. And then look at how beautiful, it's all very colorful. I have some carrots. I actually just use baby carrots, and I just sliced them as much as I could instead of buying like bulk carrots. I have a sliced red bell pepper, cilantro that I need to cut up here once this cutting board is all cleared off, some shallots, garlic, broccoli. Now this is going to be our side. It's not going into the pad thai, but I'm going to roast up some broccoli, 2 eggs that I need to beat, and then I have some sesame oil, some vegetable oil, and then the Thai noodles. And here is all of the ingredients for the sauce. Now on my Walmart grocery haul video, one of the comments said that they had made the recipe before and they loved it, but to double the sauce. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So for the sauce, you're gonna need some basil. I don't have coriander, but cumin is a close substitute, so I'm gonna use that. fish sauce, and do not smell this. It is gnarly but essential. Soy sauce, rice vinegar, some smooth peanut butter, brown sugar, some garlic chili paste, lime, and then I'm going to use fresh ginger. She does call for ginger powder, but because I have it, I'm just going to use it. So first things first, I'm going to make the sauce and then get everything else going. I am so appreciative of the comment that was left on that past video about doubling the sauce for this recipe, because it definitely needed that extra sauce for this. So if there is ever a recipe that you guys have tried that I'm about to make, definitely leave your feedback for that recipe. I would really appreciate it, just so that I know how to move forward with that recipe. Or additionally, if you guys have any future recipe suggestions that I should make, definitely leave a link or a comment in my comments section down below so that I can try something new. I always love to try different things. I would really appreciate that. All right, guys, who loves dessert? I know I do. My husband does. This is his favorite. These are cherry and almond thumbprint cookies, and these are so good. I pretty much say that with any dessert that is out there, but really, these are good. There's not a lot of ingredients too, which I love and appreciate. So I make these in the different way that you would see normal thumbprint cookie recipes. I do not like flat perfect thumbprint cookies. I like them rustic looking. I like them like with little cracks in them. I don't know, to me that just looks homemade. They just look so good, and they are way easier to come together. These cookies sit taller because I don't roll them into little balls. I prefer just to kind of drop them into mounds onto the cookie sheet. But the other thing I like about this recipe too is that it's super versatile. You don't have to use cherry preserves. I use cherry preserves, but you can literally use anything you want. You can do blackberry preserves or like a lemon curd that you just add at the end after you bake the cookies. You can make this so many different ways. You can drizzle this with like dark chocolate if you prefer to use like a raspberry jam. Imagine that, like raspberry with dark chocolate. Oh my gosh, that would be so bomb. So definitely versatile. You can do this in many different ways, which is why I love this recipe. So I will link it down below for you guys if you guys ever want to give it a try. Also, you can see here that I just put the jam in 2 of the rows because I was trying to experiment with how it would set if I baked it with the jam, and then if I added the jam halfway through baking, and then if I added it at the end of baking. I prefer baking the jam just because it sets a lot better. It just kind of bakes into the cookie, it melts into it. So that is my preferred way of baking these, but you can definitely add the jam during the baking process or after as well. I'm not sure where my footage went to, so I only have this vertical footage that I had on my phone, but this is what the cookies look like before drizzling. And of course, you do not have to drizzle any type of glaze on here. These are sweet enough as it is without the drizzle of glaze on top, but because we are extra, I did go and put some glaze on top, and they are so phenomenal, guys. I promise you, you will love them. All right, my friends, and I'm going to leave you here. I hope you guys enjoyed this what's for dinner video with the bonus dessert. If you guys did enjoy it, give this video a thumbs up so I know that you guys enjoyed it and I can make more content like this in the future. And definitely subscribe to my channel on your way out. I would really appreciate your support and would love to get to know you. So definitely leave me a comment down below of which dinner you would like to try. And we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.